How are you, folks? I'm good. We are getting into the second week of December here, which means that there's not a whole lot going on in my world, and I'm freaking bored. So it's time to make a video. Let's get to it. Yeah, I mean, here we are. It's the end of the season, and um, a couple nights ago I was striping, and then the next day I was plowing. So as they say, welcome to New England. How was your season? Comment below. Let me know how things went for you. I'm looking mainly to hear about those purchases. If you're a good business owner, you're getting those purchases in before Uncle Sam can take that money. What did I buy? What did I buy? I don't know. I bought some shit. I bought a Lance compressor system. I don't know. I bought a trailer for my paint division. I don't know, but I've noticed I'm getting a lot of contacts by either paving companies, line striping, seal coating companies, you know, to stripe for them. And I think it's great. I love it. I'm happy to have the work. But it poses a lot of interesting, it brings up a lot of interesting top questions in the sense that when you're working for someone else in that sense, what do you charge them? Like, what do you charge them? You know, if it's a paver and you got to drive an hour to go do a parking lot and it's only 7 lines, like, what is that worth? What's that worth to you? Well, to me, in the beginning, I used to have a $700 minimum, so it didn't matter how many lines you had. It was $700. But over the years, as my company became bigger, that went up. You know, so and then it got to the point where, well, what's your minimum? Well, let's do it on a half a day, full day type thing. A lot of times, there's so much striping work out there that you can set up 2 jobs for a day. You charge each customer half a day, and at the end of the day, you've made some decent money, or at least what you're worth. Because think about it, like if you're able to go out and work on the weekend and after work, or if you're doing this part time and you're wondering if you should take this full time, then yeah, okay, $700 minimum makes sense. But if this is your bread and butter, then every day that you go out and work, you have to be expected to make at least a certain amount of money every day, every week, every month, every year. Right? If you built your whole business around just being able to go out and doing these minimum jobs for $500 or $700 per job, and let's say you made, you only had that one job for the day, you made $500 a day, right? What's that equal to? $25 an hour, and you only do one job a week, $500, or 2 jobs a week, $1,000 over that month. I got something on my fucking eye. Over that month, that turns into what? $4,000 for the month. Like, ooh, $4,000. That's good. It's like you're working on the dock again. Yeah, it's like you're back in unloading trucks. Isn't that what you signed up for when you wanted to be your own boss? To get paid like you're unloading a truck again? No, fuck no. You want to make money. You want to live it up. You know. Available for sale. Let me know. So you also available. Let me know. So yeah, we get into situations where you start to wonder, what is my time worth? What is it worth for me to go out there and do this? And at the end of the day, that number is different for everybody. We're at the point now where we need to charge by half a day or a full day. Whatever that costs, that's what we charge. In most cases, it's either $1,500 or $3,300 for a full day, and that's just what it is. That's what it costs for. And if you don't want to hire me, then you don't have to hire me. Well, now I'm getting these. I got a lot of paving companies and, like I said, some seal coating companies who are starting to use us strictly for striping. And they used to have guys that they paid $500 to, but now they're paying me 3 times as much. And why is that? Because of the quality. Yes, I don't want to have to say it, but one more time. sweeter. Then straight lines. And that's what you're paying for. You're not paying for bananas. You're not paying for lines that stop at different, like, avenues. They look like, an equalizer from the 1980s. No. Playing Trans-Siberian Orchestra. No. They want shit straight. They want it to look uniformed. And you might think that, there's a bunch of videos on my page. Go look at them and laugh. There's some really horrible stripers out there, folks. But I might be an idiot, but I'm talking to these guys and I'm like, why don't you just do this yourself? Like, you don't want to pay me $1,500 to go out for a half a day. Like, why don't you just do this yourself? Well, I don't know how to do it, and I don't have time for that. You don't have time to make $1,500 for an hour's worth of work? Because that's a better margin than you're making on your paving, I don't know. I just say it's something you shouldn't be afraid to get involved in. Now, painting is permanent. It's not like seal coating. You can go out, you can do something, you can fuck it up, you can just spray over it with sealer. I mean, yeah, technically you can do that with paint or doing your lines, but, a lot of times too, once that sealer starts to wear, your fuck ups are going to show up. Yeah, they are. They are. So, you don't want to do that. So, I mean, I first bought a striper. It was a Powerline 850, and here it is. Horrible, horrible machine. Biggest piece of crap I ever owned. It is essentially a weed whack motor built on a baby carriage frame. And, is it good for 10 lines? Yes. But what happens is, number one, it always sounds like it's going to explode when you start it. It's a 4-stroke engine, but also it's a weed whacker. So it sounds like a 4-stroke weed whacker that's about to explode. The paint, they wind up getting the paint in the shaft, so to say, and that heats up, that locked up. So I went from that to, but I got into the Powerline 850, horrible. I wouldn't do over 10, 15 lines. Then I went and bought a Powerline 2850, and that was a little bit better, but I spent a lot of nights ripping that thing apart to clear out the clogs. Again, it would heat itself up, cook the paint in the piston, and that was pretty much it. And then I moved to Graco, and then my life basically changed forever. So, it's not for the faint of heart, but when I started with water. I got buckets. I would go out and I would fill the bucket with water. I'd find a parking lot that I could go apply it to, and I would just go out and practice. And that's pretty much how I got it. Now, people would say, well, I'm not comfortable with reading plans. I don't know how to read plans. And yeah, reading plans are tough. But the thing about reading plans are they're very easy. Very easy to do. And a lot of it has to do with like, the way that you approach things. All right. If you approach them with confidence and a little bit of education, you're going to handle things a lot better if you just winged it and didn't give a fuck about what you were doing. But I wouldn't say that line striping is something for the faint of heart. It's easy to get out there and pick up a plan and look at the plan and go, well, it says that from that curb to that line is 8 feet. Well, I can measure 8 feet. And then it says from this and this is this big. It's all self-explanatory. Once you have an actual parking plan, everything is laid out. And once you get that first line, it's pretty simple. I mean, trial and error. You'll be out there. You're gonna have to figure some stuff out, and you're gonna get into situations where you're measuring, and now you find out that the curb's off, or you find out that this bollard's in the wrong place. But you paint the plan, and over the years you'll get better at it. And you might say, Jesus, over the years, like, yeah, over the years. Think of the money that you'll spend paying other people. All right, let's say you're a seal coating company and you just got your first 100,000 square foot parking lot, and it's got, 450 spots in it, and your guy charges you $7 a line and $20 a stencil, and holy shit, this line striping portion of this job is going to cost me $4,500. Well, it's not that big of a deal, seeing how I'm making, 15,000 off of it. But wouldn't you much rather keep that money? And you can, because if you're just seal coating, your lines are very transparent through the sealer. You can see them. All you got to do is line the machine up, pull the trigger, and go. It's not like you're on new asphalt and you got to go out there with a plan and try to measure it out and do everything like that. No, it's not like that at all. So I tell guys, it's easier to be a line striping company if you're a seal coating company, because then you're basically getting involved with just tracing. You're tracing your old lines. But if you get, or even respray jobs, if you are able to get respray jobs, well, that's even easier, because you don't even have to look for the line through the seal. You can see the lines right there. So, I'm happy to have the work. I'm happy to be thought of, and people want to use us for line striping. Don't get me wrong. But I also want to see people do things for themselves. Yeah. And, I know a local company who they pave, they seal coat, they advertise for line striping, but they can only do resprays. They can't go out and do large, complex layouts. That comes with experience, and that's not going to be something that you're probably going to be able to do right off the bat. But don't let it stop you from trying to do it at all. A big barrier to entry is the equipment. A lot of times it's hard to, to buy a striper. There's a good one is $7,000 with the driver. It's $15,000. That's a big nut to crack if you don't have it. But thankfully, you got companies like Sherwin-Williams who will extend you credit and allow you to essentially just take a machine and pay it off throughout the season. And it doesn't really matter what your credit's like, as long as you have good trade references, then you're fine. That's how I built my line striping company, guys. Is I went out and every year for 3 years I bought a new driver. So now I got 3 drivers. I got a Graco grinder machine. I got fucking a Graco thermoplastic applicators. Build your arsenal, and have the weapons that you're gonna need when it comes time to fight. That's what I gotta say about that. So, yeah, man. I'm back. It's winter, and I'm back. And I got a exciting announcement about a podcast that I'm going to be starting. I just got off the Asphalt Entrepreneur podcast with Eric Stanley. And, we were on there for probably an hour and a half, and I probably got a quarter out what I wanted. And all it made me realize is that I want to start. I got a lot to say. And I'm going to have to start a podcast. I'm going to have to do it. So I am looking for ideas on topics. I am looking for ideas on guests. I'm willing to interview some of my followers, and I want you to come on Zoom with me, and let's talk the business. What do you say?